Long ago, back before the ages of COVID, TikTok, and quarantine, black guys were neglected from female attraction as most girls fawned over white boys with the comb-overs and emo hairstyles, derivative of the likes of white boy icons girls dreamed of such as Justin Bieber, One Direction, or the Jonas Brothers, or Hispanic men with the perms or slicked back hair and blonde highlights like that of Ronaldo or Neymar. The closest thing to girls gaining attraction to black men back then was white boys that had black in them, otherwise known as mixed guys. Black men were a niche type of attraction in women, as it was mainly black women that remained the main source of attraction to them. And even within that group, there was still a divide. You had the interracial battle of dark skins versus the light skins, and the light skins, as opposed to today, had the upper hand. But on both sides, you had black guys that rocked waves, which at the time, all the way up until the 2018 era, was the #1 hairstyle for black men that pulled all the black women. You had sponged mini fros, which carried aura within themselves, like waves, as long as you had a really nice cut and lineup to back them up. You had braids, which was the dominant hairstyle for light skins, not exactly mixed, but just light-skinned black men. These three hairstyles dominated the black guy scene, as black girls fawned over men that had these kind of cuts, giving off a fresh, clean look to them. In the 90s, the term snow bunny was created to identify white women who took attraction to black men. And the snow bunny population at this time was at an all-time low, as it was niche for white girls to take a liking into black men. It was rare, but with waves, a sponged mini fro, and a good lineup, or braids, you had a very good shot at winning a white girl's attention if you had a good personality. But there was only one hairstyle that never had the spotlight shined onto it, and that only a select amount of black guys had. The hairstyle that was looked down upon as dirty, lazy, unpresentable, and tacky. The kind of hairstyle Jamaican stoners owned and gave its identity to. And that hairstyle was named dreadlocks. People who despised them called them dreads, as they gave off a napped up, bummy-esque look for people who were seen as unhygienic. People who knew the history and cultural essence behind them called them locks, as your hair locks up within itself, creating crocheted and natted hair in a unique way. Seeing a black guy with dreads at the time during the 2000s to 2010s era was rare, as many black guys who had dreads had the hairstyle from a young age, with reasons being for convenience and lack of worry for maintenance. But most people rather saw it as lazy and unpresentable rather than time-savoring and convenient. Some say it gave off a dirty look, a tacky look, as it was a cultural style amongst Caribbean African people. For years, almost no black man had dreads. That was until a hybrid hairstyle called freeforms took up a storm around the 2019 to 2020 era. Freeforms were a form of dreads that formed from excessive hair sponging and lack of hair detangling and picking. Parents and older black women hated the idea of freeforms as it embraced the laziness and nappy tackiness of regular locks, but it was perfected with lineups and maintenance. The great cough of 2020 happened and the world went under quarantine, with lots of guys having to stay home, rid of any female interaction in public appearance. Guys who had fros decided to use this time and experiment, and guys with freeforms wanted to evolve into something greater. Black guys ended up getting twisted coils, or known as twists. And some with freeforms decided to get their hair retwisted and commit to the dreadlock look as well. Black guys saw the convenience in locks and how low maintenance it provided, as well as the various styles that can be done with them. They had the presentability of a fresh cut and the versatility of the likes of braids, the best of both worlds. How didn't they think of this before? As more black guys decided to grow dreads during quarantine, they came back after it all ended with long locks in various styles such as two-strand twists, twist outs, and barrel twists. Black girls who once thought dreads were bummy and nasty and preferred waves on all men at the time saw the grown potential in front of their very eyes at its finest and fell in love with black men with holding dreads. But it wasn't just black women that fell in love with them. White girls seen the new wave of black men with dreads and fell in love as well, as they've never seen something like them before. What once was a small percentage of snow bunnies skyrocketed as more and more white girls fell in love with black men because of dreads. And girls other than white and black, such as Latina and Asian, followed the trend as well and gained a liking to black men because of dreads. Women called these black men with dreads of what we know now as today, dreadheads. This sparked the Dreadheads Do It Best movement, as thanks to the uprising of Dreadheads, the great shift happened where more women paid attention towards black men, and the dreamy side part white boy era was over with. Things were going well for black men with dreads taking up a storm. That was until dreads became the new normal, but not only the new normal, but the new standard. The power of dreads became so great that any black man who didn't have them fell into the inferior minority all over again. Back to square one. Any black guy that had locks got all the hoes. But once they chopped them off for a new change, they immediately lost any attraction they had earned due to the power their dreads withholded. Black men who had any other hairstyles besides dreads and freeforms had some attraction, but nowhere near as much as the men with dreads. It had gotten to the point where dreadheads had taken attention from all women, stealing hoes from all kinds of men. White, black, Mexican, dreadheads were and still are to this day the ultimate magnet for all the hoes. They helped black men gain the attraction of all hoes, but at what cost? What once was the inferior became something so powerful that it raised the competition of the male attraction scene. Anyone who gains the ability to grow dreads will bear the ultimate unfathomable power to attract hoes they were never able to achieve before. Hair is a man's makeup, and the power of dreads solidified that theory. This was the rise of the Dreadhead era.